there. I'm your host, Leslie Randolph. I'm a self-confidence coach for teenage girls and the self-confidence coach you wish you had as a teen. Honestly, I'm the self-confidence coach I wish I had as a teen because I know I could have saved myself and my mother a whole lot of heartache if I'd only known then what I know now. I hope to save you some of that suffering by sharing the lessons I learned late in life right here on Why Didn't They Tell Us? Welcome to the show.
Hey, happy people. Welcome back to Why Didn't They Tell Us? So I got to be honest, I'm coming onto the microphone today with a heavy heart because the news of the world, it just feels so heavy right now. And I am one of those people who feels it, who absorbs it, who just takes it all in. I'm just truly so heartbroken by the news out of Texas. And when I start to think about that tragedy, my mind instantly thinks of all the sadness and heaviness in the world right now. It's like a rabbit hole, and without intention, I can get easily sucked into it. Now, I know podcasts are supposed to be evergreen, and you might be tuning in on July 16th, where this is still very much unfolding and very raw, or you might be tuning in on January 16th. But the truth is, there will always be sadness or hard and heavy days. I remember a couple of years ago having the realization that with the blessing of age comes the burden of more sadness. Like the older we get, we see more, we live more, we love more, which means we lose more. Now, the reason I say this is because it reminds me of how important it is to have tools to get you through these hard times. And that's what I want to share with you today. Because if you are a human with a heartbeat and breath in your body, then you will have hard days. The goal isn't to make it through this life unscathed or unaffected by the bad. It's to be able to keep going through all of it, to keep loving, to keep growing, to keep going. That is the goal. So today I want to share some ideas to get you through the hard and heavy. Because the hard and heavy is part of this beautiful package of life, which is the perfect segue to my first takeaway for the day. Sadness is a part of life. So too is happiness. Grief is a part of life. So too is connection. Tragedy is a part of life. Listen, I wish it wasn't true. I wish this wasn't true. But it is. Those are facts. I don't know a single human who's been untouched by tragedy. And I think remembering that can help lessen the emotional load when it feels really heavy. Now, hear me when I say this is in no way a permission slip to numb out the pain or justify when things happen or just think, oh, it's just a part of life, right? But to serve as a comforting reminder when you need it. We all want to believe that bad things shouldn't happen to good people or that senseless tragedies shouldn't happen at all because that sounds so wonderful and it's far more digestible. But they do. And knowing that, accepting that, might just help you through it. On your journey through it, I will say so many of us want to understand why. Why did this happen? Like, if we can make sense of it, then the pain will hurt a little less. But here's the thing. Trying to make sense of something that feels entirely senseless is one of the most painful human experiences. There are things that happen in this world that you simply can't make sense of because sometimes they don't make sense. When there is no answer to the question why, continuing to ask yourself why will only add to your suffering. But that doesn't stop us. Maybe in finding the why, we can find the solution, or we can find a way that it could have been prevented, or for some of us, we can find someone to blame. Blame feels far more productive than sadness, right? Like, if I can blame someone for this, then I can channel this heartache into rage and anger. And rage and anger definitely feel more productive than sadness. Now, I'm not saying anger doesn't have its place. It absolutely does. But not to distract you from feeling the other totally understandable human emotions that come when terrible things happen. And this is not to say that we shouldn't examine the why so we can be and do better. This is how we learn from mistakes and create movements and organizations that solve some of the world's biggest and most complex problems. But again, not to avoid feeling the totally understandable human emotions that come when terrible things happen. I saw this in my own community when tragedy struck far too close to home. And in the wake of it, I gotta tell you, so many incredible humans just sprang into action to answer the why and the how could this happen questions. And their efforts led to real change, initiatives, conversations, and awareness that mattered, not just in our community, but throughout the country. Now, there isn't a right way to grieve, and there isn't a right way to heal. I promise you that. And I promise you that even if there was a right way, we wouldn't get it right all the time. We all have to find what's right for us. Now, for some, that might be springing into action. For some, it might be placing blame. But here's what I'll offer you when navigating the hard and heavy. You have to feel it to heal it. There is no life hack to healing or a shortcut through the human experience. You simply have to feel your feelings, even the hard ones. The only way out is through. So feel. But for so many of us, that is hard. And this is true for so many reasons. The first is because we are conditioned as humans to believe that we are supposed to be happy all the time, that being happy is the ultimate goal in life. Now, I'm a big fan of happiness, but I am also aware that being happy all the time is an unattainable goal in a world where terrible things happen. And we all know they do. And not just tragedies with a capital T. There is pain and suffering in the day-to-day, from loss to heartbreak to disappointment and everything in between. But that fact does not compete with the cultural conditioning and media messaging, Facebook feeds, and Instagram reels that directly or indirectly tell us we're supposed to be happy all the time. And if we're not, we're doing something wrong. Now, in the wake of devastating life events, I think some of us give ourselves a grace period, which, thank goodness we do. But I believe we all absolutely have this imaginary timer on how long we can feel bad and how bad we can feel. Because we're supposed to be happy, right? No, we're not supposed to be happy all the time. It is our privilege as humans to feel and feel it all. Avoiding half of the emotional spectrum is avoiding half of life. We need to be willing to feel the bad so we can wholly feel and appreciate the good. There's a yin and a yang to this life. We only cherish and know the good because we are deeply acquainted with the alternative. Now, this is especially true when you consider confidence, because being self-confident does not mean you don't feel doubt and fear. It means you don't allow those feelings to be the decision makers in your life. It also means you don't avoid embarrassment, rejection, failure, disappointment. You're willing to feel those feelings, that half of the emotional spectrum that so many of us wish to avoid. That's what allows you to go after goals, to chase dreams, to make friends, to find love. You need to be willing to feel those feelings. But this is another reason why feeling our feelings is so hard. We as humans are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. This is literally how humans are hardwired. It's part of our survival instinct. But somewhere along the way, we confused avoiding danger with avoiding discomfort. Like our brain can't tell the difference between actual physical danger and emotional discomfort. That misinterpretation can make feelings like embarrassment, rejection, failure, and disappointment feel like dangers. And it can make totally normal, healthy emotions like sadness, anger, or grief feel wrong instead of totally human. I think accepting that hard happens, coupled with the understanding that we aren't supposed to be happy all the time, is the key to living a big, beautiful life. And yes, that will include big emotions you might rather not feel. I'm reminded of this when I think about in my personal life. My family had a dog for years. I mean, and we loved this dog. She was, oh my gosh, she was so sweet and love, and we lost her. And my kiddo just completely shut down and was like, that's it. I am never getting another dog. And I totally understood that, right? Because he thought, well, if I never get another dog, I never have to feel this way again. But we talk about that spectrum of human emotions, right? Sure, if you don't get another dog, then you'll never have to deal with the loss of that dog. But you'll also never feel that love that you had for that dog. You'll never get those snuggles and those kisses. We have to be willing to feel those feelings and know that the bad is what comes with the good. So where do we go from here? Now, of course, that's up to you. There is no right way to grieve, to feel, to heal. But here are a few of my tips and tools to get you through all of it. When feeling big emotions after big life events, offer yourself compassion versus comparison or criticism. Now, this can be tricky because the criticism might not sound like beating yourself up. It might sound like, I shouldn't feel this way, or I should be more grateful for everything I do have. Through the years of doing this work, I have developed a should detector, because I know when I am shoulding myself, it always feels terrible. It adds an unnecessary layer of suffering on top of the suffering I am already feeling. In the wake of the tragedy that hit very close to my home, I remember my should focused on how I shouldn't be feeling as big as I did because I wasn't there. Like the people who were there deserved to feel this way, but I didn't. Right? It doesn't sound like outwardly beating yourself up. Sometimes I think of it as like beating yourself up with a butter knife. It's not sharp, but if you continue to do it, it hurts. It's like a tender pain versus an aggressive one. Honoring your emotions without judgment or comparison is the key to compassion. And you need to take care of yourself through them all. This can look like journaling, or going for a walk outside, or talking to a friend or a trained professional that can help you process the emotions in a healthy way. I always recommend that in these hard times, you stay connected to those you love. Isolation deepens despair. So find a community or companionship to get through it together. If you feel motivated to mobilize like you did, like so many did in my community, and you feel compelled to turn that pain into purpose, great, do it. If you don't, great, don't. And don't add guilt onto your suffering. Like, I should be doing more. I should be helping. I should be creating change. No. You need to do what you need to do to get through it. Just be mindful as you process the pain, as you allow those emotions to be there. I remember after what happened in my town on the 4th of July, after October 7th, and again this week, finding myself glued to the TV and social media. Like somehow more knowledge would help me. It didn't. It only magnified the pain. So be sure you're checking in with yourself like you would a friend. Like literally check in. How are you doing? How does it feel when I do this, right? Like if you find yourself doom scrolling, take a beat and a breath and check in. Hey, how does it feel when I do this? If the answer is worse, then find another way to process. I also want to remind you that feelings can't last forever, even the big ones. They can't without your permission. Yes, you might forever be changed by what happens, but you will never be broken by it. So when the feelings feel big, like they might right now, lovingly remind yourself that time is a beautiful healer. So too is connection. So my friends, wherever you are right now, whether the pain feels personal or distant, heavy or fleeting, I want you to know this. You are not broken for feeling brokenhearted. You are human, having a deeply human experience. Because the truth is, the world will break your heart sometimes. And your ability to let it without letting it break you, that is a quiet strength. Keep feeling, keep healing, keep going, and keep growing, my friends. And on the days when it's too hard to do any of those, just be, and let that be enough. Find someone to be with you through it. My friends, I am sending you so much love. Till next time.
Love what you hear? Well, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at confidencecoachforgirls.com. That's confidencecoachforgirls.com. Or email me at lesliethelifecoach@gmail.com. That's lesliethelifecoach@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you.